All right, good evening, everybody. Waiting for Facebook here. We're live on Instagram. It looks like we are now live on Facebook. Good evening, everybody. Thursday evening swing live from Spokane, Washington. Let me fix Instagram here for everybody to see how that looks. That should be okay. All right. We got a little bit of local going on here. Zonky with Happy Feet playing in the background. We're going to give people a chance to get on. All right, out there in Facebook land, give us a shout out. Let us know you're out there. Tonight, Thursday, evening swing, live from Spokane, Washington. Balboa is the topic this evening, based on our community's votes. Chime in, everybody. Who's out there? Hello. Got a few people on Instagram over in Swing Dancing San Diego. We're still building up our Northwest Swing Dance Company Instagram. Idaho in the house. Robin. Hello, Robin. All right, chime in, everybody. Because I got happy. All right, let's stop the music there. Okay, so tonight we are going live from Spokane, Washington with our usual Thursday evening swing class from 7 to 8 p.m. to give our local scene a little bit of normal. And so we throw a little poll out there to see what everybody wants to work on each week. And this week, the community picked some Balboa moves. And so we know that we are catering to a mixed level. We want to be mindful that some people out there might be dancing solo versus with a partner. So we've tried to put together a pretty solid class this evening, working on what I'm going to call the big three moves, specifically right now, Bal-Swing moves. And that is the throwout, the lolly, and the pop turn. And what we want to do tonight, our goal this evening is to show you these basic rhythms in Balboa that are used throughout the entire dance, and you're going to see how and why. And that way it gives somebody that's dancing solo a chance to just work these rhythms. It gives you a chance, if you have a partner at home, to dance the moves that we're going to do with you. But again, if you don't have a partner, dance with your invisible partner. Be the leader role, and then you have the luxury of, like, this time I'm going to dance it as a follower, or I'm going to try it as a leader. Can't do them both at the same time, so pick one or the other, go for it. But we always encourage people to be ambidextrous and to understand both the lead and the follow part. So the first rhythm we want to talk about is the basic rhythm of Balboa. Every dance typically has a basic that we build on. And the basic for Balboa is this as far as the rhythm goes. It's simple. Step, step, hold, step, 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 hold, step. All right. I'm going to count you in, and you say that as I do the numbers. 5, 6, you say the rhythm. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So for the basic pattern of Bal, and there's a lot of different basic rhythms, but for tonight, we're going to stick with this one. This has stood the test of time. We're holding on counts 3 and counts 7. 3 and 7. So let's get up out of our desk chair, get up off the couch. So if you are a leader, you're going to start on your left foot. And if you're a follower, you're going to start on your right foot. So I'm going to go back and forth. I'm going to say the rhythm and then say the count. Say the rhythm and then say the count. So I go a step, step, hold, step, 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 hold, step. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now from behind, I was doing that as a leader, starting on my left foot. So now let me start on my right foot. Again, it doesn't matter if you start right or left, be ambidextrous. This would traditionally be the follower's footwork, starting on the right foot we would go. A step, step, hold, step, 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 hold, step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that's the basic bal. So what's going to happen now is we're going to get connected with a partner, and if you don't have a partner at home, grab a pillow. Any pillow will do. And you're going to nestle that pillow in your right forearm if you're leading. Yeah, you're just going to kind of hold on to that nice pillow. And you're just going to do that basic in place, starting with your left foot. Yeah. Now, if you're following, you can kind of just nestle that pillow into your left arm a little bit. Yeah, and then do the basic starting on your right foot. But I'm lucky enough to have a partner here. So Jackie, come on out to the floor. And we got a little extra sticky outy part here. But so now I'm gonna, without going into great detail as far as the connection goes, I'm just gonna nestle Jackie into my right forearm, right? We're gonna connect our hands right in the middle of this. We're just gonna do that basic pattern here, connected. A step, step, hold, step, 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 hold, step, 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 hold, step, 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 hold, step. So remember, that's going to be what we're going to call our basic rhythm. Let me turn this way so you can see that. 5, 6, here we go. Step, step, hold, step, 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 hold, step, 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 hold, step, 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 hold, step. Okay, for the sake of class tonight, we're not going to worry so much about where you take that on the floor. We really, in Balboa, we try to keep that what I call precise and kind of more on the spot than traveling around. But if you're traveling right now, it's okay. The important thing is the rhythm. So let me see if there's any questions out there. All right, let's see. We're looking good so far. Everybody misses each other. Yes, 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 yes. Perfect pillow partner. I love it. Very good. Okay, so once again, this is our first rhythm that we're playing with. Step, step, hold, step, 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 hold, step. All right. Now, the next rhythm that we're going to play with, because this is an essential rhythm to get into the big 3 Bal-Swing figures or moves. And trust me, for those of you in Spokane or out there that are a little more well-versed in the ways of Balboa, trust me, we're getting to some interesting concepts. So put your Balboa baby brain on and think about these things with us for a second. And so the next rhythm is something, a movement we call a break turn or a come around. Now this is a really interesting rhythm. It's very similar to what we just did as far as the basic, but there's one little change. And that change is going to be step, 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 hold, step, step, hold, step. Listen to that one more time. Step, 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 hold, step, step, hold, step. So when we do the come around, we're going to actually have some rotation. The leaders are going to turn their hips, and they're going to step down on count 3 instead of holding. Now what that does is it creates a nice pivot point. And when the leader steps down on the left foot on 3, it causes the follower to step down on her right foot, on count 3 and pivot with the leader. So another way we can say this is turn the hips, pivot, step, step, hold, step. Now, when I say pivot, the step hold is in there. You're going to see what I'm talking about in a second. But again, I want to make sure we have these rhythms solid. As a Balboa dancer, you want to have these rhythms so clear in your head and in your body, you're not even thinking about it. If you're brand new, we want to work on these rhythms. The basic is step, step, hold, step, 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 hold, step. The hold being on 3 and 7. Come around. Step, 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 hold, step, step, hold, step. All right, so that first hold is going to be on count 4. We're going to be pivoting around on count 3. And then the second half is exactly the same. Okay, so now let's do that together, just like we did before. So we want to build these rhythms. Okay, so if I'm a leader, I'm going to be stepping onto my left foot. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one basic, and then I'm going to do the come around. Now remember, the other thing I said with the come around is turn the hips, pivot, step, step, hold, step. Hopper, off. Okay, so when I'm here, I'm going to start with the left foot as a basic with the leader. Step, step, hold, step, 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 hold, step. Now turn the hips, pivot, step, step, hold, step. Now hopefully you saw during that pivot, turn the hips, pivot, hold. So I'm pivoting on my left foot and I'm holding or gathering with my right foot. And that's on count 4. And then I finish 5, 6, 7, 8, or step, step, hold, step. So again, I can't stress enough. The second rhythm we're working with, turn the hips, pivot, step, step, hold, step. And when I say pivot, it's the step, hold. Yeah, so watch again. I'm going to do a basic as a leader. Step, step, hold, step, 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 hold, step. Turn the hips, pivot, step, step, hold, step. If I count that, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? Now, if you're a follower, you're going to have the same thing, just starting with the right foot. So you'd have the basic. A step, step, hold, step, 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 hold, step. Turn the hips, pivot, step, step, hold, step. If I count that for the followers, I'm here, starting on my right foot. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, followers, you're going to feel that rotation come from the leader. So let's do that together. If you're at home solo, grab your pillow. And then if you have a partner, go ahead and get the partner. Come on out to the floor. And we're going to give that a try. So we're going to do just like we did solo. I'm going to do one basic. And then I'm going to do the come around rhythm. Now you're going to see Jackie and I step. I'm going to step on my left foot. She's going to step on the right and feel that nice pivot. So watch this. I do a basic. Basic, hold, step. And now I turn the hips, pivot, step, step, hold, step. Yeah, and you'll notice even with added baby, we are getting all the way around. So I started facing this corner. I turn my hips on the step, 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 step. Now on the step hold, I pivot in the ball of my left foot. Jackie pivots in her right foot. It's hard to do from a dead stop. 3, 4, and then we finish with the step, step, hold, step, and I'm back to that corner. I'll let you again. Jackie's going to do the numbers, and I'm going to do the footwork. We're going to do the basic rhythm, step, step, hold, step, 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 hold, step, and then the come around rhythm. Turn the hips, pivot, step, step, hold, step. Okay, basic. Step, step, hold, step, 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 hold, step. Turn the hips, pivot, step, step, hold, step. Now if I turn and face this wall, now I'm going to do the basic, and when I turn the hips and pivot, I'm going to end right over here again. So we go. Step, step, hold, step, 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 hold, step. Turn the hips, pivot, step, step, hold, step. Okay, so hopefully you're able to see that and do that. These are the primary rhythms of Balboa that we're going to use into our other moves. Okay, Doggy wants to join in. Yeah, I know, right? Okay, on the pivot, are you using your other foot to help start the energy so you don't stop too soon? Okay, so when I do a come around, and this is again why I say the rhythm the way I say it, turn the hips. So if I do a basic, here I'll stand up so you can see this. I'm being a leader now, and I'm a little bit closer. You may not see my feet. Let me move back just a little bit. There you go. Okay, so if I do a basic, my hips are facing the camera, and I do a step, step. Yeah, and some people might take that step back and side, but the point is my hips are pointing to the camera. Step, step. Now, as you're dancing your Balboa, you might have a really, really slight rotation clockwise or counterclockwise. So even if I'm doing the basic, I might slightly move to the right or clockwise, or slightly move to the left, right? But my hips are just kind of right there. Now, when I do the come around, the leader turns the hips. So watch the difference. If I do a basic, my hips point to the camera. Now, turn the hips. And you see, that's a huge difference. The fact that I've taken the step, and I've turned the hips. Now, as I rotate the hips, that rotates my partner's hips. That's how we get into the energy for the 3. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 carries us around, and we finish 5, 6, 7, 8. So the turning of the hips is what gets the energy going for the come around. So if you're, everybody you dance with has different sticky outy parts, everybody feels different. And so usually, I mean, I can do it solo and get all the way around to where I was facing. If I add another body mass to me, I might have to add a little bit of juice to it, but not that much. But again, my goal when I do that come around is to face the same direction that I started. And as far as stopping too soon, remember you have that step, step, hold step on the back end to still finish off that rotation. So if you don't think you have to get all the way around in 1 count or 2 counts. I actually use the entire 8 count to get around. Okay, so our first rhythm, basic rhythm, what is it? Say it. I know this is really weird. If I was in a class right now, I'd listen and hear everybody say, step, step, hold, step, 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 hold, step. Okay, the second rhythm, the come around rhythm. That is, say it. Yes, very good, everyone. It's turn the hips, pivot, step, step, hold, step, right? Or step, 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 hold, step, step, hold, step. You might need to write this down later. You'll see. It'll all work out. So this is basically what we're going for. I'm going to show it to Instagram first. You can take a snapshot of that. So there's the basic rhythm and then the come around rhythm. All right, for Facebook land, there is your basic rhythm, step, step, hold, step, 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 hold, step, and then the come around rhythm, step, 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 hold, step, step, hold, step. And you can see I wrote in there, turn the hips, pivot, step, step, hold, step. Now, this come around is what gets us into, it's what gets us into the throw out, the lolly, and the pop turn. Sorry, Instagram just saw my forearm. Okay, so for the sake of this class, as we combine Balboa moves, this is where we're going to live right now. We're going to go step, turn the hips, pivot, step, step, hold. Turn the hips, pivot, step, step, hold. And we're going to achieve 3 different positions when we do this. So here's our first Balboa move. Our first Bal-Swing move is going to be a throw out. So check this out. I'm going to face this wall. And I'm going to do 1 basic. Step, step, hold, step, 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 hold, step. Come around. And we're going to end in a throw out. So remember I said turn the hips, pivot, step, step, hold. Okay, now for the sake of our class right now, that hold is going to be this position. We're going to call this a throw out. Notice that we are separated. Jackie has rotated because she continues the rotation of the come around. We're out in what we're going to call open position with the left hand of the leader connected with the right. So once again, we're going to label this move 1 or whatever, a throw out. Okay, watch this again. I do a basic. Step, step, hold, step, 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 hold, step. Turn the hips, pivot, step, step, hold. Throw out position. Okay, now here is what I was talking about earlier. This rhythm is so common in Balboa. I'm going to do the same rhythm, but I'm going to change the shape. I'm going to say that again. I'm going to do the same rhythm, but I'm going to change the shape. Okay, so now I'm going to do this one purposely facing the camera. I'm going to do a basic. I'm going to do our come around rhythm into a lolly position. Check it out. Basic is step, step, hold, step, 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 hold, step. Turn the hips, pivot, step, step, hold. Yeah, and now we're in this position. Jackie said the same numbers. I said the same rhythm of the feet. Step, turn the hips, pivot, step, step, hold. But you can see we're in a very different position here than if we were separated and being here. Yeah? So watch, I'm going to do the first one. I'm going to have my basic facing this way. Basic. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now 7, turn the hips, pivot, step, step, hold. Now we're in a throw out position. My right hand is free. We're connected left hand to right hand. Now I do a basic. Step, step, hold, step, 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 hold, step. Turn the hips, pivot, step, step, boom. Holding, but my right hand is still on Jackie's back, and our left hand as a leader is connected with the right. And we have this nice little kick because I pushed that hip out, and now we're in a lolly position. All right, here is move number 3. Again, these are kind of like the big go-to moves for Balboa. This is going to be a pop turn position. So I do a basic. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I turn the hips, pivot, step, step, hold. Now it looks very similar to a lolly, except that we don't have the connected hand, right? I've let my hand slide along Jackie's back. Jackie has let her hand slide along my arm. So now we're connected in this position rather than having a hand and a hand on the back, or again, the throw out where we're connected here. Now, all 3 of these moves have the same rhythms. For the sake of class, we are doing one basic on the top. I'm doing a come around, and then I go into that basic figure, that basic Balboa move. A throw out, a lolly, or a pop turn. Okay, so let's do this again. So I'm going to dance into a throw out. Here is your basic. Step, step, hold, step. Now I turn the hips, pivot, release, throw out. Yeah? Now we're in the throw out position. We go lolly. Basic. Step, step, hold, step, 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 hold, step. Turn the hips, pivot, step, step, lolly. Yeah, so I lead Jackie's hip out so she gets to that nice kick position. Hands are connected. Hand is on the back. Jackie's arm is connected to my hand. Pop turn. 5, 6. Here we go. Basic. Step, step, hold, step, 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 hold, step. Turn the hips. Pivot. Step, step, pop. Yeah. Hands disconnect. We have a good connection through here, and we're holding on count 7, just like before, but this is a pop turn position. Okay, very good. So hopefully you were able to do that if you have a partner, or even if you don't have a partner. Again, you can dance the rhythm as a leader or a follower, trying to mimic the shape that you see us doing here. Okay, any question out there? Okay. Okay, so I talked about the come around, throw out lollipop. Haha, very good. And we're getting close. You'll see where we're going with this. Okay, more chat, chat, chat. I miss Belle so much. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, no problem. Our pleasure. Okay, my brain keeps putting them together even though those are separate things. Yes, so we are doing those separate movements, but I cannot stress enough the similarities of the rhythmic choices we're making. So again, for the sake of class, our basic is step, step, hold, step, 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 hold, step. The holds are happening on 3 and 7. I do a come around. Turn the hips, pivot, step, step, hold, right? And we are showing you 3 different figures where we do that same motion, but we end in a different spot on each one of those 7s, if you will. So if I count it again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 might be a throw out, 7 might be a lolly, 7 might be a pop turn. Okay, now here's the good news. The end of these figures You already know the timing. You go into these figures with a come around. You come out of the figures with a come around. Yeah, let me say that again. You go into these figures with the come around. You come out of these figures with the come around. So the way I like to describe it is you're on the Balboa Highway. You're doing some stuff. You do a come around and you go into Lolly Land and you get your coffee, your donut, and you do a come around back on the Balboa Highway. You get up to the next exit. You forgot you had to get some gas. You do a come around and you go off into Throwout Land to get some gas. You do a come around to go back on the Balboa Highway. And then, of course, you forgot water at your previous 2 stops. So you're on the Balboa Highway. You do a come around into Pop Turn Land, pick up your water, do a come around back into Balboa. Now, with that said, here's where we can get a little bit creative. Actually, before we get super creative, I just want to show exactly what we just talked about. So I'm going to do a basic, a come around into one of the figures, and then come back out of it with the come around, and then back to the basic. So remember, we have a basic, a come around into a move, and then a come around coming out of it back to a basic. Okay, so let's do the throw out first. So here we are, and I'm going to do a basic. All right, so basic is
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
now I do the
7,
come around
2, 3,
to the throw out
6, 7,
and come around
3, 5, 6,
back
7,
to the basic.
5, 6, 7.
Watch from this angle. I do a basic.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
I
7,
turn my hips and pivot,
5, 6, 7,
throw out, turn the hips, pivot,
5, 6, 7,
and back to the basic.
5, 6,
Boom,
7.
boom. Okay, now, real quick from this angle, I said you already know what this is. Meaning, as a leader, for the throw out, for the sake of class, what we're going to do is we're going to have 7. There's going to be a release on 8. All right, and now Jackie was wound up going clockwise and away from me, so the reaction of that is counterclockwise and back toward me. So Jackie's going to turn through this as I turn my hips and then pivot. So we turn, and now I go to the come around and pivot. Pivot, step, step, hold, step, and I'm back to the basic. And this is the same exact feeling, turn the hips, pivot, that I did in the beginning. Now I release, and now we turn the hips, pivot, and back to the basic. Now followers, when you're coming back in, you're doing the same rhythm we talked about earlier. Step, 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 hold, step, step, hold, step. So watch this. Jackie does a hold, release. She's turning, but she's doing a step, step, step. This is our pivot, hold, step, step, hold, step. Okay? So that's going to be the throw out. So remember, we did a basic, a come around, throw out land, come around, back to the basic. Let's do a lolly. Now, for the sake of where we are today in class, for the lolly, when you get to this position, we're not going to do this in great detail because of where we want to get everybody going. But so you can see where we're at, we're going to do a lolly kick. And because of the timing of a lolly kick, we're going to do 3 of these. So you're just going to kick 1, touch, and 2, and 3. Those are lollies. There's a little more stuff into it, but for the sake of tonight, you're just going to think about leading your follower out and in, rotate out, and in, and then a third kick. We're going to do 3 of them because when we count this, we're going to be on 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we want this 7 because the way we're going to end this, we're going to end the lolly kicking 7, release but stay connected because we're close together on 8, and we're going to have the hand come over the head. 1, 2, and I'm going to turn the hips and do what? Pivot, step, step, hold, step. So you're going to see me do a basic, a come around, 3 lolly kicks. After that third one, I'm going to release, turn the hips, pivot, step, step, hold. Again, you know that rhythm. So we do a basic, step, step, hold, step, 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 hold, step, turn the hips, pivot, into lolly land. There's kick 2. Now we end it, release, turn the hips, pivot, step, step, hold, step, back to the basic. Now, similar to the throw out followers, you're just feeling that release. You're stepping through the turn. Leaders, as I'm leading Jackie through the turns, I'm turning my hips and getting ready for the pivot. The rhythm is exactly the same. The shape is different. Okay? So, any questions out there so far? So we've got these rhythms. Right now we're just building on foundation. So this is for all the beginners out there. Okay, we're looking good so far. So we have our throw out, we have our lolly, and the last one we need to do is a pop turn. Yes, you already guessed it. I'm going to do a basic. I'm going to do the come around footwork into the pop turn land. I'm going to release the pop turn, count 8, and Jackie's going to turn. I'm going to turn my hips and end it with the come around back to the basic. Check it out. Here we go. So, I do a basic. Step, step, hold, step, 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 hold, step. Turn the hips, pivot, pop, turn. Turn the hips, and back to the basic.
5, 6,
Boom,
7, 8.
Okay. How are we doing out there? Let's make sure we don't have any questions. So, we have our basic rhythm. Step, step, hold, step, 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 hold, step. Come around rhythm. Step, 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 hold, step, step, hold, step. And specifically that come around rhythm, turn the hips, pivot, step, step, hold. Gets us into the 3 major moves of Bal-Swing. The throw out, the lolly, and the pop turn. Okay, the timing of the throw out and the pop turn exactly the same. Release, follower turns, leader turns the hips, pick her up with the come around, and you're back to the basic. For the sake of tonight's class, the lolly, so you can see the difference, we're connected hand and hand on the back. I'm leading 1 kick, 2 kicks, 3 release, turn the hips, pivot, step, step, hold, so you can understand and see the difference. Okay, so there was a question out there. Which one was the pop? Was that the free turn? Both the throw out and the pop were free turns for right now. We can talk about some variations towards the end of class. When I did the throw out, here, let's show that up here. When I did the throw out, we were separated, left hand connected to right hand. Nice stretch and rotation. I release 8. Jackie's doing a free spin now as I pick her up and turn the hips, pivot, step, step, hold, step, and you're back to your basic. When we did the pop turn, I'm connected with my right hand on the back. Jackie opens up. So again, same count. We're here on count 7. I'm not connected with my left. When I release and pop my wrist on count 8, that's the release that causes Jackie to step down. On a pop turn, she's going to do a free spin. 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and we're back to the basic. Okay, so for the sake of where we're at right now in class, both the throw out and the pop turn are going to be a free spin. Is that what the, yes, a free turn. Free spin, free turn for the follower. Because of the lolly, the way we're setting it up, we're closer together. My hand is connected and the hand on the back. And when I release my hand on the back, I let my left hand go up and I just lead the turn right there. The timing is exactly the same for the follower in all 3 situations on the pickup. Jackie's turning, stepping through it and feeling that pivot. I'm turning my hips. So now, any other questions out there? It's time to play the game, right? And the game is we're going to put these things together. And for the beginners out there, we're going to go back into a basic. So this is our plan. We've been doing a lot of crafting. Let's see, I think Facebook has it and Instagram. All right, so look, we have our starting basic. And what do? We do a come around. We're going to go into a throw out. We end the throw out with a come around. And right now we're going to do a basic and then go into a come around to the next movement, lollies. We're going to do a come around into the basic, and then a come around into the pop turn. And then at the end, we're going to finish. We're going to think about our finishing come around back into a basic. So we're going to string together the big three basic moves of Bal-Swing with basics in between. Remember, my on-ramp and my off-ramp is the come around. So burn this into your brain. If you're dancing it as a leader or a follower, you're going to do a basic, come around, throw out, come around, basic, come around, lolly. We're going to do 3 lolly kicks. Then we're going to do a come around, basic, come around, pop turn, finishing come around back into a basic. All right, check this out. So, all right, here we go. So we put that all together. 5, 6, here we go. Basic.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
now I do the
7,
come around
1, 2, 3,
to a throw
5,
out,
6, 7,
come
1,
around,
2, 3, 5, 6,
and here's
7,
the basic. I actually did a
1, 2,
connected turn
5,
there.
6, 7,
I do a come
1, 2,
around
3,
into 3
5,
lolly
6, 7,
kicks.
1,
There's 2
5,
and 3
7,
connected
1, 2,
turn.
3, 5, 6,
Here's
7,
my
1,
basic.
2, 3, 5, 6,
I do
7,
the come
1,
around
2, 3,
into the
5,
pop
6,
turn,
7,
finishing
3,
come around
5, 6, 7,
back
1,
into the basic,
5, 6,
and I'm not
7.
worried about going into any other pattern. So hopefully you caught that. I did that first throw out, and I messed up for class. I did a connected turn instead of disconnecting. So there's your first variation kind of throw in there. But so again, what we did there is a basic into a lolly, basic into basic into a throw out, basic into a lolly, basic into a pop turn. And I strung those together utilizing the come around before each one and the end of each one. So I use those 2 rhythms constantly when I'm dancing Balboa. So if you're a beginner, your biggest takeaway tonight, don't worry about if you don't get these moves all perfect. Think about the rhythms. Step, step, hold, step, 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 hold, step. Turn the hips, pivot, step, step, hold, step. If that's your biggest takeaway tonight, that's gold for you out when you're dancing your Balboa. Okay, so once again, this would be what I would call a very basic pattern of stringing all of these things together. So now watch what we're going to do. Uh-oh. What just happened? So now, what did we do? We took away the basics, right? So now I'm going to dance exactly the same thing we just did. But here's the power of the come around. Remember, you do a come around to go into a move, and you do a come around to get out of the move. All right? And so this time I'm going to do 1 basic and then a come around into a throw out. But when I finish the throw out, that come around is going to lead me right into 3 lolly kicks. And after those 3 lolly kicks, I'm going to do a come around, the end of the lollies, but the beginning of the pop turn. And then I'm going to do that final come around back into my basic. So I've eliminated those 2 basics that we put in between all of the moves. Yeah, does that make sense now? Okay.
Give us a thumbs up.
Yeah, give us a shout out, a thumbs up out there. Okay. So once again, 1 basic, come around to the throw out, come around right away to 3 lolly kicks, come around right away to a pop turn, come around ending with the exit basic. Okay, here we go. So this would definitely be a more intermediate-ish kind of thing, throwing moves in together, one right after the other, without the basic in between. 5, 6, basic on the top,
1,
basic.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Now I do the
7,
come around
1, 2, 3,
to the throw out.
5, 6, 7,
The throw out goes right
5, 6,
to
7,
3 lolly
1,
kicks.
3, 5,
And now I do a come
1, 2,
around
3,
right
5, 6,
to a
7,
pop,
1, 2,
come
3,
around,
5, 6,
and I'm back
7,
to
1, 2,
a basic.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Excellent. Watch that from this angle. So I do a basic. Here we go. Basic.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I come around.
1, 2, 3.
Throw
5,
out.
6, 7, and
The come
1, 2,
around
3,
goes right
5,
into
6, 7,
lollies.
1,
Gonna do 3 of these.
5, 7,
Exit with a come around right into a pop, right into the come around, and back to the basic.
7, 8.
Oh, how did that look out there? Okay. So, I got a whoa and a thumbs up. Very good. Okay. So again, this is like combining. Let's see. If we were in a regular old setting, we would probably take a whole week to cover a throwout. We would take a whole week to cover lollies. We'd take a whole week to cover a pop turn. And we probably would have covered the basic movements before that. So we're packing 4 weeks, 1 month of material into 40 minutes. So again, I think I typed this in the description. You absolutely will not master all of this tonight if you are a beginner. If you're a more intermediate dancer, hopefully we've enlightened you a little bit with the power of the come around, utilizing these rhythms and doing one movement after the other. So once again, this is where we lived on that last section. All right, we took the basics out, but we still have the come around in between. Now if I put this back in, now you can see what we did before, but we're still utilizing the come around before and after each one of these movements. Okay? Now, with all of this though, remember, I can't stress enough, we're really just working with 2 rhythms. That's it. All this great stuff packed into 2 core rhythms of Balboa. I changed the shape of it, the look of it, but the rhythms are exactly the same. All right. Is Tom hamming out there? It's Balboa night. So our buddy Tom here in Spokane, not a huge fan of Balboa, but I thought I'd hook him with the little math thing for tonight. Because here's the beauty of this next thing. So now, Tom Hamming likes Northwest Swing Dance Company video. Ha ha ha! Are you ready, engineers? Are you ready, math majors? Who knows about factorials?
Not me.
Did you ever think you would hear a dance teacher talk about factorials? I am an engineer, nerd, geek, whatever. I love the numbers. I love physics. All right, this is super cool. So a factorial is basically figuring out how many ways you can sequence or combine or order things. Like, for example, let's say there's a race in the Olympics and there's 8 people that are in the race. How many different ways can the race end? Ranking 1 through 8, right? That's a factorial. You can figure out this person, and then there's this many people left. Da da da. And basically, it's this: a factorial. We're going to do a very simple one, which is what we have here. We have 3 core movements. So a factorial, the way you figure it out, is you take 3 times 2 times 1 is a factorial. So 3 times 2 is 6 times 1 is 6. There are 6 combinations that you can mix and match using 3 movements. Do the math. You'll figure it out. So real quick, a 2 factorial is 2. So if you have 2 variations, I mean, that's really simple. You do one before the other or the other before the other. That's easy. 3, we said it's 6. 4 moves, if you have 4 moves you want to combine different ways, that's 24. 5 moves is 120 variations. 6 moves is 720. And 7 moves, if you have 7 moves in your head leaders, you have 5,040 different combinations you can do. What? It's so cool. Mind blown. Talking about factorials. Now, here's the proof. I'm going to show this to Instagram really quick first. Okay, there's the 6 combinations. At the end of the day, you start with 1 and then you only have 2 more. and you could list it out, take a snapshot of that if you're at home. Okay, Facebook land. There it is. Take a snapshot of that. Right there are the 6 combinations listed out for you. Okay? So, message me if you need to get into this further and understand factorials. I love math, engineering. Tom, that was for you. Yes, math hurts. Okay, so 3 times 2 times 1, 6 variations. What does that mean? Well, I mean, if we take the basics out of there, that's a whole nother animal. All right, so now what we did, Jackie and I just did, is we did the old throw out, lolly, pop turn combo. Throw out, lolly, pop turn. So if we look at our listing here, that's actually the first one I listed. Throw out, lolly, pop turn. Check it out, Instagram land. Throw out, lolly, pop turn. So let's change it to a pop turn, a throw out, and a lolly. Jackie, can you hold this for me? We're gonna do a pop turn,
Popper, what's that?
a throw out, and a lolly. Okay, so now we're going to do the same exact rhythms that we did before. We're not changing the rhythms, but I'm going to think pop turn, throw out, lolly. And again, you guys, this, obviously this is a little bit more of a game for leaders, but if you're quarantined with somebody you can practice with, well, once we get back out there, if you set up practice sessions, followers, bring this game to the table for the leaders. Like literally have the list of some moves down on cards and slap them down on the table. That's the order you're going to do them in. Remember, the basic beginner way to do it is to throw a basic in between each one. For the sake of our time, and we want to cater a little bit more to the intermediate dancers now, we're going to go one right after the other. All right? And so, man, I just got super geeky feeling with those numbers, right? It's so awesome. Drop that knowledge. I love it. I like math. It's a perishable skill, though. Yeah, it can go away unless you have some crazy dance teacher that brings up factorials in the middle of a live Facebook session. Okay, what, Gina? Wow, math hurts. I love it. Haven't done those in forever. Factorials. Okay, so remember, here's our goal. We're going to do a basic. Come around, pop turn. Come around, throw out. Come around, lolly. Remember, we're going to do 3 lolly kicks, and then we're going to finish back into the basic. Pop, throw, lolly. Pop, throw, lolly. Here we go. So I start with a basic. 5, 6. Here we go, basic.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I do a come around
2, 3,
to a pop turn.
7.
Come around
3,
to a throw out.
6, 7.
Come around
3,
to 3 lolly kicks.
1, 3,
2,
5.
and now exit, come around,
5, 6,
back to
7.
the
1, 2, 3,
basic.
5, 6, 7.
Yes, okay. Pop, throw, lolly. The hardest part of the game is remembering the order. Pop, throw, lolly. Pop, throw, lolly. Watch this angle. 5, 6. Here we go. Basic,
1,
basic.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And
Come
1, 2,
around
3,
to the
5,
pop.
6, 7. And
Come
1, 2,
around
3,
to the throw
5,
out.
6, 7. And
Come
1, 2,
around
3,
to a
5,
lolly.
6,
1
7.
kick,
1,
2 kick,
5,
3,
7.
and the exit. Come
3,
around
5, 6, 7.
and back to the basic.
5, 6,
Pop,
7.
pop. Oh, did you see that? And again, you have, how do you not get dizzy?
Don't look down.
Don't look down. You can spot, but spotting is not like a big thing we throw into swing dancing in general, but it's usually not too crazy if I'm not leading Jackie in multiple turns. This regular bell is not too nuts as far as getting dizzy. And then again, if you are finding yourself get dizzy as a follower, ask the leader, like, oh, please throw some basics in between. I'm getting a little bit dizzy. There's no shame in letting the leader know. If you're feeling woohoo, if you had a few too many drinks and you're feeling tipsy, hey, throw more basics at me because I'm going to lose it. Okay, I know I would appreciate it rather than the follower like, okay. So again, All we did there was change the order. We did the same exact rhythms though. If Jackie and I were to like separate and just dance the rhythm in our feet, we would have done the exact same rhythm in our feet as we did before. And again, here are your 6 different combos that you're going to be able to play with. Oh, let me get that in the camera for Facebook. And then for Instagram, there's your 6 combos. Write these out yourself. Do the math. Like look up factorials. It's kind of cool stuff. Now, this brings up a whole nother can of worms, or as we say in live Facebook land, can of weeds. So adding to this, right now we're just doing the basic big 3 movements: pop turns, throwouts, and lollies. What if you add this in there? All right? Back in the day, we called them crossovers. Nowadays, we call them out and ins. Those are 4 fundamental Bal-Swing moves. And leaders, if you add that element into here somewhere, again, I did the factorial earlier. I wrote it down because I can't do the math that fast in my head. 24 different combinations if you add in another move. Now you add in the fact that you might throw basics in between or not. Or guess what? Maybe you have some styling variations that you throw in as well. Every little addition you add to the equation is another kind of option in the combination, in the sequencing of events, right? And so the possibilities really are endless. But remember, the underlying theme of everything that we've done tonight are 2 core rhythms. Step, step, hold, step, 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 hold, step, and step, 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 hold, step, step, hold, step. Or that second one, turn, turn, pivot, step, step, hold, step. Another question out there. Do a dizzy dip. Yeah. If a follower drops down from being dizzy, you're going into a dip really fast with that partner. Very good. Okay. So now let's take a step back a little bit now. So instead of going pop to throw out to lolly, watch how I'm going to do. I'm going to go pop, pop, pop. Right? I'm just going to do 3 pop turns. So I have a variation. I have a move, but I just want to do 3 pop turns. Now remember, I'm going to start the pop with the come around. I'm going to end it with the come around, but that ending is going to be the start of the next one. Actually, let's take a step back. For the beginners, I'm going to do a basic come around pop turn. Pick Jackie up, do a basic come around pop turn. Pick Jackie up, basic come around pop. So this would be beginner level, basic.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I do the come around
3,
into a
5,
pop.
6, 7,
I pick her up with the come around.
5, 6, 7.
Second basic,
3, 4, 5, 6,
come around.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6,
Pick her up with the come around.
3, 5, 6,
And now the third basic,
5, 6,
I do the come around.
2, 3, 5, 6, 7.
And now
1, 2, 3, 5, 6,
I'm back
7, 1,
to the basic
5, 6,
pattern. So again, this might happen a lot socially in your scene if like you're working on pop turns one week. So all the leaders, I guarantee you, they're going to be trying that move, dare I say ad nauseum, out on the social floor. Well, followers, maybe you have a little styling variation. You want to try something different with your hand. That's totally fine. Now we're going to take the more intermediate approach. And I'm going to go pop, pop, pop right away. Boom, come around, pop, come around, pop, come around, pop. Yeah? And can you do something a little different with your hand or your foot maybe?
Sure.
Like, and again, if Jackie doesn't change it, don't stress. Again, our goal is to show you again rhythmically. I'm going to do the basic rhythm, then 3 right in a row of come around, pop, come around, pop, come around, pop. That rhythm is going to be consistent, and then the end again. So same idea, but taking the basics out. So this is a more intermediate concept. Basic.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I do the come around into a pop.
5, 6, 7.
I do a come around into a pop.
5, 6, 7.
I do a come around
3,
into a pop.
5, 6, 7.
And now
2, 3, 5, 6,
I'm back to
7,
the
1, 2, 3,
basic.
5, 6,
Boom,
7.
boom. Now you can apply this to the throw out. You can apply this to the lolly kicks. We could have done the same thing, taking any one of those other core moves and repeating that 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. It doesn't matter. The key is utilizing those rhythms to your advantage and changing the shape. So remember, basic beginners, put those basic step, step, hold, step, 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 hold, step in between to let you catch your breath and go into the next one. Like you might stay with a throw out for a while and then do pop turns for a while. And you do lollies for a while. Eventually, you take out the basics in between. So you do what I just did there, a pop, pop, pop. And eventually, you really start to string things together. So about 5-10 minutes ago, when we did, the pop, throw out, lolly, or the throw out, lolly, pop, whatever combination you have, that's definitely a more intermediate advanced concept as you start layering these things together without repeating, without basics and things like that. Now you add in all your styling options and all of your other variations on the different movements, and you're really good to go. So hopefully you saw Jackie do some different things. She did, I felt like a little different hand placement. I think you did a kickball change on one of them, a bigger kick on one. So yes, Shelly put the comment out there on Facebook, creative liberty. I'm leading Jackie in the same shape 3 times in a row. She took creative liberties at the end of it to create a different shape. Yeah? And now we have a little bit of time left. Are there any questions out there? Okay, to recap, basic rhythm, step, step, hold, step, 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 hold, step. Come around rhythm, step, 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 hold, step, step, hold, step. More specifically, turn the hips, pivot, step, step, hold, step. And I use that come around rhythm to create the 3 fundamental movement shapes of Bal-Swing: the throw out, the lolly, and the pop turn. Questions, questions, questions. Okay. The factorial thing really makes feeling limited from knowing only a small number of moves to realizing the number of possible combos. Yes. Yeah. That's it. Yes. Thank you, Becca. Becca says it makes a limited number of moves not feel limited at all. So yeah, think about it. We just showed you 3 things, but those 3 things, factorial, create 6 different combos. And again, adding on different styling choices or whatnot, really the possibilities are endless. And then let's talk about, we have a couple minutes left. Let's show you, again, for the more intermediate advanced dancers out there. So you have the basic throw out, right? So we talked about this throw out position. That's vanilla. That's a basic throw out, my left hand to the right hand. So now let's call this number 1, throw out, left hand to right hand. Number 2, what if I release Jackie and get this connection? Same timing, different shape, different connection. My right hand to her left hand. I usually call this like an open book position or a funky hand, right? So here is a throw out position with the opposite hand, right? That's 2 variations. Variation number 3, I get out here and I look away. Sometimes we call this a reverse, right? So leaders are looking away from their partner. Yeah? So this is variation number 3 on a throw out. Can you think of another one?
Right now, probably not, but
Cross hand.
I'm sure there's a ton.
Got it. Number 4. My bad. I was like, I had it in my head. Okay? So I'm here, and now I'm going to send Jackie away, and I'm going to get cross hand. Now I might set that up a little bit nicer by doing a little Texas Tommy. That's a whole other lesson. But I get cross hand throw out position. That's number 4. Just talking about a throw out. A throw out. What's the number? I don't have the math in my head. 4. 24 different combinations, knowing those 4 basic positions of a throw out. Regular, leader's left hand to follower's right hand. Funky, leader's right hand to follower's left hand. Reverse, leader over the shoulder. That's number 3. Number 4, figure out a way to get cross hand. 4 variations on the same throw out kind of figure, and you've got now, factorially, 24 different combinations that you can do. I think it's really cool. Ladies and gentlemen, we have about 10 seconds left. Yes, the possibilities are endless. We hope you enjoyed Thursday evening swing live from Spokane. And we really appreciate everybody still supporting us and supporting the live lessons that we're doing. We're working really hard on the new dance company, the Northwest Swing Dance Company. We want to thank Christy and Cody, who did a great job of building up Strictly Swing and have a great foundation for us. We've got a lot of stuff we want to offer. We're trying to figure out how to be sensitive to the things that we're going through right now in our world, and trying to do things safely in the best way that we can provide all of this great stuff for the local dance community. I've been going live almost every night with, I would say, more intermediate advanced concepts. We're going to talk about what we can do for our local scene as far as offering more beginner-ish type lessons. And again, we want to be really sensitive to everything that's going on. We know some people want to get back on the dance floor and get together. Others want to take it easy and still do social distancing. So it's kind of tough to be a social swing dance instructor when you're practicing social distancing. With that said, we really do appreciate it if you enjoyed tonight's lesson, if it brought you any joy, if it got you off the couch or out of your office chair, if it gave you some new knowledge in your noggin about Balboa, or thinking about figures, or thinking about rhythms, please consider donating. Even a few dollars really helps, but think about any hour-long class that you have in your community, and please donate that if you can. But I know everybody's in a tough spot right now, so do what you can. We hope you really enjoyed tonight's Thursday evening swing, and you can catch me every night at 7 o'clock for my College of Swing Era Knowledge. Monday night I do jazz. Tuesday, Charleston. Wednesday, Lindy Hop and Jitterbug. Thursday is Thursday evening swing. Friday is shag night. Saturday is Balboa and Bal-Swing. So if you liked this Balboa lesson, come find me on Saturday night. We'll do some more Balboa. And then Sunday I do talks for teachers and organizers out there. Social distance swing dancing. Yes, we're trying to figure it all out. We do have a Venmo. I will put it's at Joel-Plys, and you'll see, I think it's a picture of me and Jackie at there. Again, that's at Joel-Plys. Let me see if I can type that in right now. I'm pretty sure, oh, that didn't work. Well, I'll show a picture. I can send a pic of my Venmo, and that might help. But we want to thank all of you. And as always, we like to end this with a little night-night. We're crazy about you. Have fun, everybody. Stay safe.